Hi guys, welcome back to my channel English in a Blink, and today I'm going to give you some advice. Are you ready to take some advice from me? Well, just kidding. I'm not going to be giving you any advice. What I'm going to be doing is I am going to give you 10 phrases that you can use when you want to give advice to your friends, colleagues, anyone for that matter. Okay, sometimes you see your friends, they're stressed out. You think that they need some help. You think that they can definitely, some kind of a suggestion that you have, and then you're stuck sometimes. Oh, what do I say? How do I go about it? Like, what do I say? How do I suggest them this or that? So that's when these phrases are going to come handy. Okay, so the first way that you can use when you want to give somebody some advice, maybe it's your friend or whoever, so then you can say, oh, I think you should. Let's say it's your friend, he's really stressed out, and you just look at him and you, oh, why don't you, I think you should take up a new hobby, okay? Or I think you should take a break. Or I think you should go on a holiday, whatever, okay? So I think you should is one way to give somebody some advice. It is very neutral sort of, statement when you are giving somebody an advice. It's very neutral. It is neither too strong nor too weak. It's very neutral, okay? So like I said, first way, I think you should. Then the second way that you can use is why don't you, okay? It's more like a question. It sounds like a question for the listener that you're advising. So you can definitely say, oh, why don't you, go for a holiday? Or why don't you take up a new hobby? All right, so why don't you? It's much softer than I think you should. Okay, so why don't you? Then the third way that you can advise somebody something is, so have you thought about? Okay, so that's another way. So have you thought about going on a holiday? So have you thought about taking up a new hobby? Or have you thought about moving in with your girlfriend? Let's say your friend was talking about some issues that he's having with his girlfriend. Or, it's really problem juggling between the job and, meeting her and this and that. Then this is your suggestion. So have you thought about moving in with your girlfriend? Okay. So again, a very softer sort of a way to suggest something. I'm sure nobody will get offended with this. All right, so the next way that you can suggest something is, maybe you should try, okay? So again, your friend, he's talking about that something is very monotonous or something that he's tried, he didn't like. So then again, you want to suggest something, oh, maybe you should try scuba diving, okay? Or maybe you should try spicy food, eating spicy food, or maybe you should try Indian food. I don't know. Something, like a suggestion or whatever the situation is. So maybe you should try. Again, that you want to, somebody sounds very depressed or somebody is demotivated and you want to encourage them. All right. So that's another way that you can say, oh, maybe you should try something, whatever they are talking to you about. So then that's one way, and that's definitely encouraging as well. Okay. Then next way to give somebody advice is our good old, conditionals. If I were you, I would. Okay. So this is again one way. Oh, if I were you, which I am not, not possible, right? But if I were you, I would take this job. Okay, so your friend is talking to you about he's been offered a job and these are the things, these are the perks, but he has two minds, he doesn't know what to do. So then, and you think it's a very good opportunity, he should take it. So then one way of suggesting that is, oh, if I were you, I would take it. Okay, that's what you are saying, that look, this is really good and my advice is this. Okay, so if I were you, that's like your recommendation. Or again, he's talking about, or she's talking about a relationship, a troubled relationship where he or she's not happy. So then if I were you, I would leave her or him. Okay, so again, you're putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, and then this is what you think they should do. Okay, now moving on, the next way to give somebody advice is, have you tried? Okay, so yeah, that's another way of suggesting something. Oh, have you tried talking to your partner? So somebody's again talking about problems that they are having, and you just want to suggest something. Or have you tried talking to your partner about this? Or have you tried talking to your boss? Okay, or calling, let's say he's or she is just, they haven't talked to someone, and they're talking, oh, there's just problem going on and I don't know what to do. So you're like, oh, have you tried calling them? Have you tried talking to them? All right, again, a very softer sort of way to give somebody advice or a suggestion, something that you think people should try. Okay, so have you tried? Then next way is, like, what you can say is, my advice to you is to, or my advice to you, whatever way you want to say. Okay, so my advice is to quit smoking. Okay, so something very straightforward. Or my advice is to get a pet. Okay, this is something very clear, very straightforward. Or this is what, like somebody's, oh, advise me, what should I do? Okay, so my advice is to just, quit smoking. Like somebody's talking, oh, I'm having these problems, my health problems, and doctors suggested this and that. So what do you think I should do? Quit. This is what my advice is, that quit smoking. Or my advice is to get a pet. It's a very clear, straightforward advice. This is what I want you to do. Again, next one is more like a command. You should. Okay, so somebody asks you, then, oh, you should quit smoking. That's it. No more nonsense. All right, so again, very, very straightforward, clear, strong advice. You should. All right, so you should call your parents, or you should quit smoking, or you should quit your job. All right, you should leave at once. All right, so again, like I said, very strong, clear advice to someone. Then after very strong advice or a way, softer one is like, I would suggest, okay, so I would suggest to take up a new hobby. Okay, so now this is again a softer way to advise someone. Okay, I would suggest to, whatever is that your friend or your colleague or whoever is asking for advice. So I would suggest to do this. Okay, and then the last one is, you can say, oh, it's best if you. Okay, so that's again the last one, like I said. So when somebody asks you something and, oh, it's best if you go for a holiday. Yeah, somebody's talking about, oh, this quarantine has actually stressed me out. I don't know what to do. And now, everything is open, all right? So no more lockdown. And then what would you suggest? Oh, see, it's best if you go for a holiday, okay? Or it's best if you take up a new hobby, try practicing guitar or cooking, whatever. All right, again, your suggestions are endless. You can suggest whatever you think is best for your friend, for your colleague, or whoever is taking advice from you. All right, so now my advice to you is that now when you have all these 10 phrases, don't just keep them. All right, just look at the lesson. Oh, it was good. That's the good way. Don't just do that. Use it. All right, so next time your friend asks some advice, use any of these phrases when you are actually giving them the advice. All right, now take this advice of mine, and also do not forget people, to press the like button. Okay, subscribe, spread the word. All right, until we meet next time, bye for now.